Yo, it's your boy Champ, and I'm hearing y'all want to be an entrepreneur, but don't know what it costs to be the boss. So let's get into it.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
Yeah. It's your boy Champ, and this is the Champions Here show.
What's up, guys? It's a six. How y'all doing?
And it's your boy, Mr. Longchamp here, co-hosting. Quick shout out to the audience. Appreciate you guys, everybody checking in.
Co-hosting. I'm just a little zealous. You know what I mean? Just that's all it is. So
A little excited.
come on, you know what I mean? So guys, tonight I want to talk about entrepreneurship because um it's not as easy or glamorous as people think it is. You know, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. They all want to be a CEO. You know, I got mines, I got my brand, I got my website, I got this, I got that, but don't understand the nitty gritty that comes with it. You know what I mean? So just want to talk about that a little bit tonight. And my experience with entrepreneurship, obviously, you know, not to go into too much detail, but we've made a shift in the company. So for me, I feel like I'm, finally spreading my wings a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm a little bit more accountable for myself. It's a little scary, but it's exciting scary. You know what I mean? Because I don't know
Yep.
what's gonna happen. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it feels good that, just taking a little bit more reins, a little bit more initiative and leadership in what I'm doing, whatever. So now I get it because, like I said to you, Gabe, a few months ago when we first started the show, a year ago when we first started the show, sometimes it's gonna take some late nights. You know what I mean? You can't. I'm scheduled to go to bed at 9 p.m., but here we are, 9:15, and then once we're done, I gotta hit the books. I gotta go on the MLS. I gotta go on Pop Stream. I gotta prepare for my clients homes for the next day, the things that they want to see. So sometimes, I got the scripts, I got the notes, I got the I got the scripts, things I gotta memorize just so I can do what I need to do. And today, I don't know if you see my stories, guys, but I went door knocking today. I
Yeah.
Okay.
went, I
Nice.
went, I went door knocking,
Ooh,
and it's not like cold calling because cold calling, whatever, but you're in front of the people. And I'm like, yeah, are you looking to buy? I mean, sell? Like, I'm like, oh man, like I fucked that one up. Then I gotta go to the next house. Then I gotta go to the next house. I'm like, all right, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm like, okay, time is money. Kev, put a little bit more pep in your step. Go ring the doorbell. Here's my, I could do a free CMA. Go on, Mike. And then I'm like, I started yesterday. So today I'm doing it again. And I'm like, yo, Kev, you gotta go through the scripts. You gotta go through the scripts, make it more seamless. Just process.
make it more organic.
Yeah. So, and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, yo, champ, you're already a success. You're doing something you've never done before. This does you not getting a listing or you getting doors closed in your face is not making you a failure. It's the fact that I'm taking the necessary steps because the market is different. It's not a buyer's market, it's a seller's market. So the way you can have a little bit more control of the sale and the deal is by having a listing. And when you have those listings, you can deal with more buyers and shop around with buyers. But if you're just dealing with buyers, it can be a little stressful. This whole
Yeah.
beginning of the year is a little stressful for me because I've just been focused on buyers and haven't making that shift, making those connections and those relationships with investors and with sellers. So just learning the reins of it. You know what I mean? It's a little tough. I haven't had a check since January, but luckily for me, I'm amazing at budgeting. So I've been okay, but it's a little scary because it's like, what's gonna happen next? You know what I'm saying to you? But I just imagine that I'm in a movie, and in a movie, I'm like, what's gonna happen next? So So like I said, it's a little bit
So
scary. So I just wanted to know what your guys' take on. How do you feel about entrepreneurship? Because I know I'm speaking to two other entrepreneurs right in front of me. So,
right.
how do you guys, how's 2021 been treating you as far as in your business and
Before,
stuff?
what I was gonna say. So before, so I would say two things because being an entrepreneur is not just because what you're talking about as far as like being in the real estate game. I think that would fall more under being under self-employed and
That's
being
like
an
being
entrepreneur.
an intrapreneur.
Right. Yeah. So that an entrepreneur, you're more so like doing other businesses as well, which we are doing
Creating
other
your own
businesses.
business and
Yeah.
manage, basically you have your niche, you have your thing, but an entrepreneur would be you actually coming into an existing established business and working for yourself
For
within
yourself,
an
right?
organization.
Yes, and I'm
Exactly.
happy you mentioned that because there's different, there's self-employed, there's, you know, bosses who own businesses,
Mhm.
there's investors. So people sometimes they get these things mixed up. I know
Yeah.
I sometimes make those mistakes too, but they're huge
Yep.
differences. You know what I mean? There are huge differences in that. So, but again, as entrepreneurs, investors, business owners, just want to see what your take on and how you feel about this climate, what your experience like so far, because again, we're in a different climate. We're in the age of the COVID. We're in the age
Yeah.
of
And I was gonna say, you out there knocking on doors during a pandemic, it's definitely gotta be more terrifying for the people that are answering the doors than for you, because you're like, this is your job, this is what you're gonna feed your family with. So it's like you have to do it one way or another. For them, it's like, oh my God, why are you knocking on my door? This is like terrifying.
yeah. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and take a few steps back.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll take a few steps back. Hey, what's going on? It's Kevin Longchamp, premier agent in the neighborhood. Just wanted to know if you're in the market to sell, and if you are, the market is hot right now. So,
Yeah.
and I just want to let you know that I can give you a free CMA. And I would just want to be a resource. Oh, well, what's a CMA? Well, a CMA is a comparative market analysis. I hit them with the lingo a little bit.
Yes,
You know
you
what I
gotta
the,
give
mean?
me
the
It's a
lingo.
the
comparative.
jargon,
Oh, what
the
they hear
real
that?
estate
Oh,
jargon.
comparative. Yeah, you compare. That's what I do. I compare things.
What
Comparative
is that?
market analysis. I'm an
What was that?
analyzer.
What was that?
Absolutely.
That term that Chris used when we were talking about as far as like you said you called it jargon. It's the word that's escaping me right now.
Legalese.
Legalese, yes, the language of knowing like legal
Law.
terms, basically,
Yeah,
all
the
the law.
law. Yeah. So I hit
Yeah.
him with that realese. You know what I'm saying? I hit him with
Really?
that.
That's a good one.
I hit him with that realese. You feel me? You know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah, hit him with that. So like I said, it's like and I feel amazing after doing it. Like I said, today I was stuttering a little bit. It was my second block. Yesterday I did one block, just one wrap around, just going up the block and back down the block. Takes about an hour, you know, putting the business
And
cards.
it's scary to talk to people because I have a problem myself. Like, I'm very outgoing when you're in my presence, but it's kind of hard for me to approach someone. Like, if you approach me, I'm cool. But if I have to approach you, I freeze. But a couple of things that I've learned was to say exactly how you feel. Like, sometimes, like, if you're stuttering and you're there with the customer, like, I'm like, be like, sorry, I'm just a little nervous. And like, that's understandable because hello, that's normal for a human, right?
Yeah. And they're like, as I'm doing, they're like, okay, yeah, bye. Or like, what? I'm like, I'm looking at the reaction on their face while I'm doing it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm destroying this situation right now. But luckily, there's a lot more houses in the neighborhood. And there's a lot more houses in the
It's
borough.
like
Yep.
okay, this is all practice,
There's a lot more houses in the world, baby.
and
Yeah.
what you said earlier was perfect as far as like you're not failing. As long as you're continuing to do it, there is
Yeah.
no failure because you will eventually get someone who will say they decide to sell or they're looking actually to buy. So, failure it doesn't actually come in until you give up. So keep on keeping on.
That's it. Keep on keeping on. That's all I'm doing. Just keep on keeping on. Just just finding different strategies in the business and understanding because I do well like that. I just do well, just learning. Doors getting slammed on my face. I just can't wait to go to the next door. And like I said, I've met some interesting people for the last 2 days. Met one guy. He said, "Yo, you know what? I'm in the market to buy another house." I was like, "Yeah, you see me?
Because you
Yeah,
never know.
you got my card." And there was this one lady today. She's having tax trouble with her church. She owns two homes. She has a church that the property tax. And I said, "Hey, listen, you better make sure you I was telling her examples of this properties in New Jersey, for example. All you got to do is buy the tax link, pay the tax link for 1,000. You might say, "Oh, that's not fair." I'm like, "Well, is it fair? What do you mean? It's not illegal, but think about it. You have your home and you're not taking care of it, and now you're gonna lose it for $1,000. I think that's a shame. It's not
Yeah.
about what's fair or not. It's a shame
Yeah.
because when you have a garden, think
Yeah.
about it. When you have a garden, you have to go and tend to that garden constantly. You have to put gloves, get on your hands and knees. It's hot, it's sweaty, the bugs are hitting you. But if you want tulips and petunias, you got to get on your hands and knees because
Yeah.
weeds don't need nothing to grow. Weeds will always be there. If you don't, weeds grow out the concrete. And
Yeah.
there's no soil in the concrete and weeds grow. So it's just like a garden. You got to take care of it. You got to tend to it all the time. So just like your home, you got to make sure the roof is good. You got to make sure the board is good. You got to make sure the
Oh,
grass
word.
is cut. You got to just adhere to
Yeah.
everything. Property tax.
Maintenance. Yeah, of course you have to
Exactly.
maintain
Yeah.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
so
But I
And
mean,
you
back to
also,
your question as far as like entrepreneurship and
yeah.
how has been my experience this year. Um, I feel like I I was born to be an entrepreneur, and I
mhm,
didn't
mhm.
realize that. I mean, but you have to know when the time is right because I feel like I knew that I always wanted to basically be my own boss, but I also knew that I needed to learn how to be my own boss. How do other bosses operate? So I had to observe and look at other people that were doing things that I wanted to do, that what I was aspiring to do, and learn from that and take the positive and just, archive it, take the negative and be like, okay, I'm not doing that and dispose of it. So that's very important when you're actually looking to be an entrepreneur because you have to observe and watch and learn from other people. And most importantly, and then you'll also learn from yourself because then you'll come to realize once you start your own business that it's not as easy as it seems and it
Yeah.
takes extensive hours. I remember being in college and the professor says, okay, you guys want to be entrepreneurs. Well, do you know how many hours it's going to take for you to run your business? People were like 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week. And the
No,
professor was like, no, it's going to
nope.
take as many hours as it'll take. There is no set amount. So sometimes you'll work 16-hour days. Sometimes you'll work 8-hour days. It depends on what process of your business you are in. It depends on what stage of it you are in. So it's going to take some time. Best advice I can give from a person that just came out of a mental lockdown. I feel like I hit some blockages last year. I mean, the amount of ideas that came through my head was insane. I had so many ideas for businesses that were just fantastic, but none of them I was passionate about. What does that
So
say? Can't
no, no,
read
no.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. No, I was gonna, I was gonna actually switch over anyway.
Yeah. No, but
Uh,
basically, it's been good. I feel like I found my niche. I found where I'm passionate about. I found what I'm gonna do, and I'm the most important part about it. I am passionate about it.
That's the
So
most important, yo.
that's that's key because that's gonna be the driving force behind what you're gonna do, whatever you
yeah.
decide to do.
So find something. Yeah, basically, exactly. That's perfect because actually, I was gonna kind of segue into what got me into that, which was first initially was getting into personal training and fitness. So when I actually studied to get my personal training license, that was actually one of the things that they do like teach you is operating your business as a personal trainer because you are basically your own business. And then from there, I kind of segued into, eventually getting into other things, being a swim coach, this, that, real estate now, and all that stuff. But nah, definitely ups and downs, learning from your own mistakes, learning from others. I was watching other trainers and realized what I could pick up, how to approach clients. That was definitely tough. So the same thing Kevin is going through, I went through that when I was starting to be a personal trainer, going up to a client who's randomly working out of the gym and being like, hey, maybe suggesting something that I can assist them with so they can understand and be like, oh, maybe this guy could help me out some more. And then I can actually pick them up as a client. So, the other businesses that we're getting into as well, we're learning how we're starting them as far as like the boat, the yacht club and, real estate, of course. I know, Fix, you got your candle business, which now that you understand what it takes to get into a business, you know that, okay, I have to, find, create the supply, find out what my audience is going to be, who's going to be the type of people that are going to be looking for this, and try to market it to them.
Yeah. And you have to do your research when you're starting your business, because especially if your business already exists. I mean, that's so simple. But if it's like a particular niche market, then it's going to take a lot more work on your part to market that product. So yeah, some factors you have to keep in mind. But I mean, if you have any questions about entrepreneurship, definitely leave your comment below. We would be more than happy to go ahead and answer some questions. And also, if you are an entrepreneur, give us a little bit of your backstory and what you do, and put your website right down there. Why not?
Maybe you could end up on the Champions Here show.
Hey, that'd be dope.
Maybe. So, guys, any shout outs?
Go ahead, Gabe.
Yeah, no, of course, once again, definitely want to give a quick shout out to all our listeners, to the audience. If you guys have been listening so far, appreciate you guys. Quick shout out to Long Term Training. Got a few more openings for a couple of clients if you guys are looking for that. BT Group, CJ Tunes, like I said, that new EP he got is out now. All you need. It is really all you need to listen to. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Six.
Yeah, shout out to Home 6. Shout out to Lee Bulldogs. Shout out to myself, 6 Series. Go ahead, check out my Instagram. And shout out to Matt Sky Trucking. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Big shout out to Moving Keys, because we are moving keys everywhere we go. That's what we're doing, indoors, in cars. Big shout out to Brooklyn Cove, big boats popping. And also big shout out to Longchamp Success, because we're all a success. You know what I mean? So, and please don't forget to hit that like or subscribe button. Yeah.